After all this time, after all these weeks and months, days, conversations.
Look at us.
Look at us. It's the Eagles and the Chiefs. It's the Andy Reid Bowl. It's the Jason Kelsey Bowl. It's the MVP Bowl. It's the 1 seed versus 1 seed bowl. And it is coming 2 Sundays to a television set near you, or if you're in Arizona, check it out. Super Bowl 57, Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. And we'll talk about it and chop it up and massage it. And we're going to go to Phoenix. We will be in Arizona Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of Super Bowl week. We'll be nestled in our spot in the Super Bowl experience. It's going to be awesome. Now then, let me just say this.
Now then.
I'm just going to come straight through the front door.
That's how you do.
For those of you out there who think we in the national media, and certainly in the NFL media, gush too much about Patrick Mahomes, this is going to be a long day for you.
Long
2 weeks.
A long day for you. A
14
long
days.
2 weeks for you. And, you know, just so you know, we do know it's not all peaches and cream. We do know that.
Neither because of them.
No. We understand it. He's not perfect. I get it. That his quarterback rating in Super Bowls is what we would say less than.
Yeah.
Okay. His quarterback ratings in Super Bowls, 64.2. That is substandard.
Ooh,
Damn near half of his passer rating in every other playoff game in which he's played. He's won 10 of them. He's been in 13 playoff games. He's won 10 of them. His 10-3 record.
That's good.
And we'll round up. We do the math for you. He's won 77% rounding up of his playoff games. The only quarterbacks with a better postseason winning percentage in the history of the National Football League is none other than Jim Plunkett and Bart Starr. Troy won 11 of his 15. Bradshaw won 14 of his 19. Brady's won 35 of his 48.
That's insane.
That's not good enough. It's only 73%.
What?
Montana won 16 of his 23. That's 70%. We're rounding up. Otherwise, Gronkowski would think his winning percentage is nice.
What's wrong with you?
And of all of those guys I've mentioned, Starr, Plunkett, Bradshaw, Aikman, Brady, Montana, Mahomes is, as of this sitting, the only one to not win 2 Super Bowls. All the other guys won 2. Which is why you kind of have to sit here and wonder why Jim Plunkett's not in the Hall of Fame. But that's for another day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's for another day. This day is about what we saw yesterday, and we do have to share the stage if we're talking about yesterday with Joe Burrow, who is unbelievably unconscious at this position for somebody as still young and one would think green, because in just your second year of starting, you shouldn't be able to just do what he's doing. And I will say this about Joe Burrow, mixing it in with the Mahomes love. Joe Burrow is so good.
How good is he?
Thank you. He's so good that his incomplete passes hit his receivers in the helmet. I mean,
that pass was ridiculous.
It hit Jamar Chase on top of his head. That's how good his incomplete passes are.
Yeah.
His throw to T. Higgins to tie the game in the third quarter.
Like what?
To cap what we were all feeling and what everyone, yes, in Arrowhead was feeling, that it was happening again. It being the Chiefs take a double-digit lead on the scoreboard, and then out of the blue, momentum changes. Out of the blue, momentum switches. And it switches after Burrow throws an interception in the first half. The Chiefs turn it into nothing because the Bengals D does something. And then the Bengals drive the length of the field, almost score a touchdown right before the half. They put a field goal on the board and going only down 7, which is better than last year when they were down 11 at halftime. And they come out of halftime, get Mahomes 3 and out, And then they go down the field and score a touchdown with Burrow high-pointing one to T. Higgins before Higgins even turns around. The ball's in the air, and he places it exactly where number 85 can go get it, and he does. Touchdown tie game. Mahomes gets the ball back. And this is the stuff that we're so fortunate to be living in these NFL times, watching two kids, yes, kids, do what they're doing on the field in a huge championship game, whole country watching, trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Come on now. Mahomes travels down the field. At one point, as he's driving, rolls out to his left. If you notice, they were rolling him out to his right the entire game. Rolling out to his left means he's got to, at some point, stop, plant his feet, and throw. And if he's anywhere off balance, which is kind of near half the time with him, and it doesn't matter because he still makes incredible throws, that's why we gush about Mahomes, is he plants his foot, and sure enough, for the first time, mid-third quarter, tie game, we see him hopping up and down on that turned right ankle of his in a way where we're like, uh-oh, it's cold out. It's the second half. This is exactly when we thought in our soon-to-be Emmy Award-winning Ankle Watch 2023 coverage of last week, which has now got 2 more weeks to go. We thought this is when there could be a problem. And Mahomes keeps it on the track, keeps it on the rails. And his throw, let me get this right. His throw right over the middle to put them up 20-13 to cap an 11-play, 77-yard drive is a frozen rope dart on 3rd and 10.
Ridiculous.
From the Cincinnati 19, just when you think they might have to just settle for another field goal like they opened the game, it is a frozen rope to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who had a terrific game. Mm-hmm. And they put the Chiefs up by a score again, only to have it placed into significant danger by one of those OMG moments where he throws and it just empty hands. He just whiffed. Mahomes did.
I think the ball was frozen or something.
I don't know
and it just
what
slipped
the
out of his
hell
hand.
happened.
It was a weird play.
But you give that to Joe Burrow, and, that's going to be a problem. It sure was. Next, 6 plays later, touchdown. Joe Burrow got it done. He got it done. He made a 4th and 6 throw from the Kansas City 41. I think Romo called it stones. He called it stones, and it was. Zach Taylor, let's call it timeout. You know, we're not going to punt it. This is the AFC Championship game. We have Joe Burrow, and we have Jamar Chase. Let him make a play. And he puts it into double coverage, and he throws it to where Jamar Chase can catch it.
Yeah.
It's unreal. It is the stuff that we love because we're watching 2 generationally talented guys duke it out again in the AFC Championship game. And it comes down to, as always, who has the ball last and who makes the mistakes last. And that was the Chiefs, and who has the ball last, and the mistakes is Cincinnati. Hey, listen, this kid Osai, who was caught on camera crying his eyes out because he shoved Mahomes out of bounds. It is such a tough game to play, man. Can you imagine? This guy's like 260 pounds. He's 22 years old. He sees Patrick Mahomes. He's played his ass off, this kid, all game long. And Mahomes, he shoves him when he's out of bounds. And when you do this to Patrick Mahomes, it's going to be flagged pretty much 100% of the time. And I say that fully aware that if that was maybe Brock Purdy, it wouldn't have been. We'll get to him, obviously, later on. But this is Patrick Mahomes. And of all things, anybody who thought the flag shouldn't be called, what can I tell you, man? You can't put yourself in that position. Unfortunately, the kid did. And he played his mind off. But for this game to come down to, of all things, Patrick Mahomes running for his life on that gimpy ankle is exactly what we're talking about how special Patrick Mahomes is. And I'm sorry to those who think we in the national media and the NFL media gush too much about him. This is what we are talking about. It's not just his physical attributes. It's about that heart that beats inside. It is on par. Talk to anybody who plays with him. Talk to anybody who knows him. Talk to anybody who knows anybody who plays with him. Talk to anybody who's in the know. What this guy has beating inside his chest is on par with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Tiger Woods. Name any of the generationally over-the-top athletes that we have had the pleasure of sharing planet Earth with while they were on the court, on the course, on the field. Name it. Brady, name it.
Serena, Sue Bird. Just keep
LeBron.
going.
Correct. Yes.
Messi.
Go down the list.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mahomes is in that pantheon.
Roman Reigns.
These people who cannot do anything but compete and take your soul and your heart. He just smiles at you. Steph Curry, another one of them.
Yeah.
Curry smiles at you when he does it. And so that's what happened yesterday. It's just a 5-yard scramble. I think if you want a next-gen stat, what was he so deep back? It could have been like 15 yards, it felt like. But it was just 5 yards to gain. The extra 15 put it on the tee. And it's the day started with Burrow head and ended with Butker head. And Harrison Butker splits the uprights. No time left. And that was all she wrote for another classic American Football Conference Championship game. Another classic between these two. Burrow got Mahomes last year, and this time around, Mahomes got Burrow. It was close. It was going to come down to the little things and the little things on the last drive. And unfortunately for Cincinnati, Kansas City had the ball last. And the shove in the back happened with Mahomes out of bounds. It did. And Patrick Mahomes, 326 and 2 scores. Come on that ankle. That's why we gush about him. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.